Hello and welcome to Sex and the Art of Healing. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. In this part, I'm going to talk about my healing process and just how long it took, because it's not overnight. And just so you know, the things that worked for me may not work for you. I always encourage you to think for yourself. And for me, it was a lot of trial and error. It was an arduous and process, and you have to stay focused, and it is worthwhile. I cannot imagine being the person that I used to be. I used to really hate myself, and I really love myself now, so it's worth it and it's possible. So let's just jump right in. My healing process. So I didn't start talking about it until about 10 years after the fact. I told one person in high school, my neighbor, and other than that, I kept it a secret until I was about 19. My freshman year of college, I went to NYU, and at the time, a lot of different things were happening. So, first of all, I had a friend who I knew about an empty dorm bedroom that I knew nobody was using, and my friend gave me the key and let me spend time in there and do homework. So I was spending a lot of time alone. So that's the first factor. I was also experimenting with different sleep schedules, so I was not getting a lot of sleep, and my eating disorder had been acting up. I had been making myself throw up, and I was trying to starve, and definitely not getting proper nutrients, so that's a third factor, and it was really tough to deal with everything going on, so I was pretty much constantly high. So those are the main things that were going on. And what really set everything off was my college best friend was assaulted by somebody else in our friend group. So she was dealing with this, and our friend group was trying to make sense of this. And I had all of that going on for myself. I was alone. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't really eating. I was just constantly high. And I just couldn't stop thinking about what happened to her and then what happened to me. It was spinning in my head all day, nonstop. So I had to face it. I couldn't handle it anymore. I was seeing a therapist at the time, so I told him and I told my best friends, and that's the first step. The first step is telling people you love and you trust. Then sophomore year of college, I would say, is where the bulk of my unpacking happened. So that fall, I signed up for the most amazing class with Barnaby Rue, legendary Barnaby Rue. He's a shamanista. He's awesome. The class is called Rites of Passage into Contemporary Art Practice. If you ever get a chance, take it and let it heal you. Let it transform you. Basically, in that class, we were to work on our threshold drama. That means a threshold drama is just unresolved conflict in your life. We all know what mine is, right? But at first, I was way too chicken to actually talk about what I really wanted to talk about. So I came to him with this bullshit story about how when I was 15, I really liked this guy that I met on a cruise. Whatever. That was just something filler, me being scared. And people in the class started talking about their actual personal issues, and it dawned on me that what am I doing here if I'm not going to take advantage of the opportunity in front of me? So I went to Barnaby during office hours and I told him what happened to me, and he had just the most incredible response. So Barnaby is a shaman, and he has this like stream of consciousness way of talking. So he was like, oh, well, that's really great, and I'm so glad that you told me. And because that happened to you when you were really young, that little girl is protected, and we can heal her and we can help her. So you're definitely doing the right thing by coming here and talking to me and blah blah blah. And I was just like, wow, you're the first person who didn't make me feel bad for talking to you about this. And you're the first person who doesn't seem to feel uncomfortable by my pain. And that was like the most refreshing thing. Because of that, I decided to trust him and just listen to whatever he said. And he told me to tell my family. I really didn't want to do that, but I listened to him, and I'm so glad that I did. I told my sister, and then I told my mom, and I think my mom told my dad. And this is such a crucial step, you guys. If you have been in a similar situation, and your family doesn't know what happened to you, or even if you're an abuser and they don't know what you did, just tell them. It's better that way. Trust me. But yeah, my family was really cool. They believed me. That was like the saddest Thanksgiving, the most tear-filled that we had, besides one other. But I would say from there, our family started to heal a lot more. So tell your family. Second semester of sophomore year was when I really, really just like delved into it. And I was using everything as medicine. I signed up for an energy medicine class where I learned about Reiki and understanding myself through the system of the chakras. I was part of a yoga club, so it really helped get in touch with my body, mind, and spirit in a really connected, beautiful way. I was taking a writing class. That really helped a lot too. And I started expressing myself verbally better and learning how to communicate better and making art. Honestly, pretty much sophomore year, especially second semester, was just me after yoga every week coming home, smoking some weed with my best friend Bianca, and as I'm making art, I just had realizations, and I would just start crying. Like I would be like, oh my god, oh fuck, like I can't believe I didn't realize that. Like I was believing, I had this thought that I thought was true, and it was just like all this unpacking and unraveling of all this tangled mess that had bundled up over the years. And so Bianca, I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for everybody that semester. Yeah. Notable mention, that Easter of my sophomore year, so this is like pretty much like 6 months or less later, my mom went to Lithuania and she told my relatives, and she confronted Mr. Abuser because she didn't know about Mr. Mistake. She didn't know about the person on her side of the family who touched me. So when she went to the abuser and talked to him, he was completely unapologetic, and he tried to deflect the blame. And I guess I told him when I was a kid about the other person, so he told everybody about that. And I just remember my mom calling me from Lithuania on Skype. We're like video calling, and the first thing she says is she's like, "Did he also touch you?" And immediately she knew from my expression that he did, and we were just like crying on a Saturday on like the 7th floor of an NYU empty building. It was like really weird. And after that, that summer in 2012, I went to Lithuania myself. So less than 6 months after that, or yeah, I went there and I saw all my relatives, and I imagined it would be like so therapeutic and so great. I'm gonna confront everybody and I'm gonna heal and move forward and be so done with this. And it kind of happened, but not really. My relatives, they were definitely pretty awkward, but they did their best, and I love and appreciate them so much. Good people. I saw Mr. Mistake and his family, and at first, whenever they looked at me, they definitely looked like I reminded them of something that made them guilty, so that was kind of hard to deal with at first, but we got through it. And I was not brave enough at the time and not ready to face Mr. Abuser. Through the relative that, he had been living with, the only response I really got from him to what happened to me was, this is what he said. I don't know why she thinks I owe her anything. It's not like I got her pregnant. Or she should be glad I didn't get her pregnant. Yeah. I mean, I should be grateful that you didn't get me pregnant, considering I wasn't even biologically mature enough to conceive, so good point. Yeah, it was a pretty fucked up response, and honestly, just want to say really quick, I do forgive him, I wish him healing, but for that kind of disrespect and response, I personally think I should be allowed to just like dick him in the face. That's just my opinion. I think I deserve it. Anyway, so yeah, that summer in Lithuania, I had sex for the first time with somebody who's my age. And from there, so that was like, before I had sex, it was all my like emotional, mental healing with myself. When I started, but then like, 2012, that fall marked the beginning of my building who I want to be and learning my boundaries, learning how to be a partner. I definitely got taken advantage of a lot. I tried dating and having sex with people. Was pretty clueless and got taken advantage of a lot. Second semester of junior year marked the beginning of like way more progress, and I would say that's continued until pretty much now, and I'm still always going to be learning how to be better, but so junior year I was studying abroad in Shanghai, and I didn't really have a lot of friends. Somebody that I met somebody from New York posted a video of kids talk dating advice. I watched it, I thought it was funny, and I started looking at more videos from the person who made them, who was Matthew Hussey. He is a relationship and human dynamics expert. His work really is what taught me how to be a human adult woman and a better partner. So if you have not heard of him or his work, I recommend you check it out. It is good stuff. Yeah. So what are the takeaways? Basically, if you look at the timeline, I started healing and talking about this in the spring of 2011. I would say I've still been healing until now, but I mean the bulk of my unpacking took about 2 years until the spring of 2013, and then 2013 to now, so 3 years to unpack, 4 years to build. To now, I've been shaping like who I want to be and growing. I went at my own pace, but you gotta stay relentless. And what's that? What else? That's it. It's a process. So I want whoever's watching this to understand that it's okay to take a while to learn and heal from this. It's worth it. You're worth it. Once again. And that's it for this time. The next video is going to be the really more fun part. So if you like this so far, please, 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 please share it with your network. There's somebody out there who is looking for this video. You don't know who you're helping. You're helping me a lot, and I hope, yeah. Connect with me on social media, follow, subscribe, etc. I have all the links in the video. And if you're really excited, as much as I am, about all the healing goodness that's about to come, set alerts on every social media platform. You can set alerts, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I love you.